So if we're going to save America, and America is again to be the last best hope of mankind, so that the ideas of America are more powerful than all of the military. I served in Strategic Air Command during the Korean War. I was in a B-47 operation. We had the nuclear bombs, and I could tell you, at that time, I thought this war was a war to prevent communism from creeping in. It was only later that I learned that there was something higher than capitalism on the one hand. In the Wall Street model you have, where you have 1% of the people own more than the bottom 90% combined. And then on the other hand, socialism. That was not an answer. Both concentrate power. That's what you have here. You have a form of socialism. Lord Keynes came in with a legal concept, we're going to put everybody to work. When I was a kid, you had 25% unemployment. This is in the 30s. You had 25% unemployment. And they brought in ideas of how the state can get things going, and the Federal Reserve cranked up funding money, despite the fact that the government was creating jobs all over the place, that we still had significant, over 15% unemployment until the Second World War. It was only during the Second World War that we reached the objective of full employment. We had 13 million of the most able-bodied people in the war, in the military, and we had absolutely no unemployment. Now, we are now 6.5% unemployment. There are 10 million people who are unemployed. Because of the monetary policies and the tax policies, we can again have rates of 25%. We're very close to a breakdown of the total economy. That would mean 35 million unemployed. And one of the things we're saying today is we're going to be here on Tax Slavery Day. Tax Slavery Day is April 15th. It'll be a lot warmer than it is today. And so we're not just counting on a couple hundred people. And by April 15th, Wednesday, April 15th at noon, we have 1 million people march on Washington to change the Fed, to demand that the Fed be transformed into a place where money power, where the power of money flows to the people. This is a blueprint for any president or any member of the Congress. It is now circulating around the Congress. You can get it free from our website at CESJ, that's Center for Economic and Social Justice.org. So you can download it free. But this is a blueprint for changing the tax system and the money system. I'll give you an example of what this would mean. If we take the growth of the economy, it has been about $2 trillion a year in new plant and equipment, new rentable space, and new infrastructure. That amounts to about $7,000 per man, woman, and child. Now, how is it going to be financed? Well, in the past, it was financed so that the growth, and this is productive growth, the assets that'll produce more and more prosperity to America, this has been financed in ways that don't create new owners. Now we're talking about how can it be financed in ways that would create ownership in every man, woman, and child. That's about, it amounts to about $7,000 every year. Now, how can that be financed? Well, here we're talking about, let me give you an example of what it would mean. If a child, I noticed there was a little baby here before. If a child was born, was able to go to their local bank, set up a capital homestead account, it's like an IRA, it's a tax shelter for the little person, and were able to borrow $7,000 to buy new shares so that companies, the tax laws would encourage companies to pay out their profits to their shareholders. They would sell new shares. Those shares would pay for the capital. It would take a few years, and we're talking about no interest credit, no interest money, okay? And this is created out of thin air. This would mean that that child, by the time they reach the age of retirement, would have a $50,000 after-tax dividend income, would have accumulated close to $500,000, and would have received $1.6 million in dividends. Now, I'm just saying this, but if you go to our website, you'll begin to see how we arrive at those numbers by a change in the tax system and a change in the monetary system. But I thank you. This was an opportunity for me to meet with revolutionary patriots. And it's a time so that next April 15th, I hope that you will be part of 1 million people who will be here in Washington. Thank you very much. I'm honored to be with you.